In Europe, a war raged from 1939 to 1945. 40 millions died altogether. In combat, of disease and starvation. 6 million Jews in concentration camps or elsewhere, etc. In the Pacific, war raged from 1937 to 1945. 40 or 50 millions died. Starvation, death by bullet or shell fragment, disease, inhumane treatment, atomic bombs, etc. In 1950, several millions were killed in Korea. Disease, bullets, shells, etc. After Korea, there were famines in India and some fighting. Then there was fighting in Israel between the Jews and the Arabs, and in Algeria between the French and the Algerians. And millions more died. Famine, disease, bullets, bombs, shells, knife wounds, etc.
Oh, they're beginning to wake up now. It's too late.
I feel I died too.
That's right, Charlie. You died too.
That's the way we're supposed to feel, isn't it, Baldwin?
Put the sticker up, Charlie.
I guess we're about ready for the shirts and armbands. Huh, Baldwin?
We've earned them now.
More recently, there have been troubles in Laos and, of course, in the Congo. All things considered, perhaps 100 million have died in the accidents, plagues, famines, and wars of our immediate times. What is hard to realize is that the number 100 millions refers to 100 million people, individual human beings, each with a mother and a father and a name, etc.
Fire alarm. You get 18 firemen racing around the streets at 6 o'clock in the morning. You lose your head, so the whole world's got to know about it. Why not?
Take it easy, Chief.
I lost 2 of my men 6 weeks in crack-up, answering a false alarm.
I'm sorry. What do I say?
Forget it, huh?
I'm a human being too, ain't I?
piece of garbage for you.
Underwear, sweater with 2 holes in it, necktie, half a loaf of bread, stale.
A man of property. Here's his wallet. $1.70 in it.
This wallet belongs to John Marshall Tybalt, USA.
Look what it says on the other side.
He who steals my purse steals trash.
I see guys like that all the time, sleeping in doorways, you know, but never out in the sidewalk in this weather. So I says to myself, here's a guy passed out on the street. I better go wake him up.
What's this?
Cigarettes. He had another pack in his pocket, open, 3 or 4 left in it.
He did. Same brand?
How different? Had a cigarette in his hand, like he'd started to smoke it just before he was stabbed.
Which brand?
One you're holding.
Look, Mike, sometimes you buy cigarettes when you know you're gonna run out soon.
Yeah. But you finish the cigarettes in the open pack first. There's still cigarettes in the pack in his pocket. I goofed.
Mike, maybe he forgot about the cigarettes in his pocket.
Come on. Those cigarettes didn't come with the guy that was killed. What are you being so careful about? Don't worry about smudging them. Those prints could be anybody. They could be his, mine. Great beginning.
That's too bad. I bet if you had those prints, you could get the murder in no time.
Please go get yourself a cup of coffee.
How do you feel, Bowman? Do you feel funny?
Now, we said we weren't going to talk about it. Not even to each other, didn't we? Are you hungry?
I had breakfast in the park.
What did you eat?
I got some fried eggs in that restaurant at the zoo.
What did you see?
I saw a mallard duck.
At this time of year?
Maybe he was left over from when the others migrated. You should have seen him. His left wing was dragging.
I saw some sparrows and I think a couple of Baltimore Orioles.
No, you saw a mallard duck. A mallard duck with a broken wing. And what time did you leave the house?
About 4:30.
In the morning?
Sure, later on there's lots of people and traffic and the birds hide out.
How come I didn't even hear an alarm clock?
I put it under my pillow. I didn't want to wake anybody else.
Frank come back with you?
No, he's still hanging around the neighborhood, talking to everybody he can, trying to dig up something. Poor guy feels bad enough to hang himself.
Because of the prints?
Yeah.
He didn't do anything that I didn't do. How come you didn't bring him back with you?
Well, he felt too bad to have any company. Anyway, there's nobody to question, Mike. There's nobody on the streets at the time. Mike, you think the lab can come up with a miracle this time?
The prints are lost. The report's on the desk. Did you come to the stab wounds yet?
Reading it now.
Anything hitch at him?
Not yet, Mike.
I hate it when an anonymous human being is killed. Like that poor soul this morning. A name, no address, no job. Almost non-existent. Somebody has to kill him. It's like hollering why till the sky turns green. There just isn't any why.
Mike, 4 wounds, 3 apparently while he was still on his feet. The 4th when he was down. Mike, this isn't a robbery. This is some sort of an act of passion. 4 stab wounds. Look, that fits.
No. If it was passion, there'd be a dozen stab wounds. 20, maybe. If it was an assassination, it'd be just 1. No more.
It's kind of a guess, Mike. I don't see any reason for that.
Adam, I've seen a lot of homicides in my career for reasons of passions, vengeance, robbery, anger, psychotic reasons, professional killings. They have a reality to them. You can see what for. But I can tell you I've seen these murders before. Murders without a reason. There'll be more of these poor derelicts killed. This is just the beginning of a series.
I hope you're wrong.
No, Adam. I'm not wrong. What do you think I've been sitting here for? I've been searching for a clue to the pattern that's sure to follow after 2, 3, 4, or 5 of these poor souls get killed. It'll be something like every time there's a full moon, or every time it's 3 days after a big rain, or a dog howls. I didn't work fast enough after those cigarettes this morning.
Come on, Mike. So you made a mistake, so what? You're human, you're entitled?
No, Adam. You're wrong. I've made mistakes before, but somehow we always cleared them up along the line. But not this time. This time, my mistake is going to cost more lives.
Oh. Come on, Mike. We'll get something.
Cheapest ones that I could find. Your tie.
Scratches.
St. Simon's Delight, he's wore a hair shirt all his life. Those look real. They were made in Germany.
Did he ask you what you wanted them for?
Oh, he didn't care. As long as I paid him the $250. Some people must want them, though. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep them in stock.
That's about right.
See, hey! Freddie! That's not funny, Freddie. We're not wearing these things to play games with. We're not children playing games. Why, we wouldn't have the right to do what we just did if we were children playing games.
Are you wearing yours, Baldwin?
Would I ask you to do something I wouldn't do myself?
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, gentlemen. This morning, we cut ourselves off from the rest of the world. We've got to trust each other. All right. Thaxted.
Good morning, Baldwin, Joshua, Frederick, Sully.
No, thank you. Sir, did those 4 copies of Mein Kampf come in yet?
Oh, they may have. You'll have to talk to Charlie.
He'll know more about what books will come in than I would.
All right, thank you. I told you wouldn't ask any questions.
As long as he remembers when the time comes.
The shirt? Are you three wearing yours?
That's a real one.
Let's put it on as soon as I get a chance.
I know. We trust you. Charlie, did Mr. Thaxted ask any questions about the Mein Kampf?
I thought he would when I told him we were insisting on first editions, but he didn't. Baldwin, did you see the newspapers?
We all did.
Just that little paragraph on page 3.
One of them had this little story on page 2, and then 2 others carried it on page 6.
I saw them. But they will notice. Now wait till they pick up 3 like the one this morning. All on the same day. Yes?
Baldwin.
Good morning, Mother.
Oh. Dear Mother and Dad, please don't worry about me. I'm just going over to the park to do a little bird watching. Your loving son. You ought to have these mimeographed.
Well, that's all there is to say.
Do you know that it's been over a week since I've seen you or talked to you? That takes a little maneuvering on your part, Baldwin.
Well, I guess it just worked out that way.
I asked your father if you two had a fight.
Well, why would I fight with Dad?
What is it then, dear? Adolescence, or is it something more serious than just growing pains?
I guess I just haven't felt like talking about it, Mother.
I don't like you hiding from us, dear.
Mother, do you like the world we live in?
If your fight is with the world, why are you hiding from your father and me?
Oh, hiding's a good word. I thought for a while I might retreat to a monastery. Well, I would have spoken about it if there had been any point while I was trying to make up my mind. But then I decided against that.
What's wrong with the world, Baldwin?
I'd rather not talk about that,
Is
Mother.
it our personal world or the world in general?
Well, you get the papers every morning, Mother. Read them sometimes.
I don't know what this is about, really. It doesn't make any difference, except that I want you to know that you don't have to feel alone. Your father and I love you very much.
Oh, I love you too. Both of you. And I respect you. And right now, I've got to go, Mother, because there's some boys that are waiting for me. Goodbye.
Baldwin, be careful.
I am. I'm full of care.
Baldwin, are you sure we're right?
We'd better be. We took a man's life.
I mean about doing it again.
We have to do it again. Otherwise, everything we did is just thrown away. Otherwise, we killed that man for nothing.
Wonder what they'll say about us.
You have to accept responsibility. And then you have to live with judgment.
Honey, you better hurry up if you want to leave enough time to have breakfast with us.
I'm coming. Oh, darn.
What happened?
I just got a run on my stocking.
Well, will you grab an extra pair? You can change it to rehearsal.
Take it easy.
I wish I had one single idea where to move next in this case.
What do you want me to say?
I'm sorry, Frank. I wasn't picking on you.
Letters to the editor. 3 days ago, a tramp was killed on Washington Street. There was a little paragraph about it in your paper the day it happened. Since that time, not a word. Don't you care? Doesn't anybody care? Why don't the police do something?
Good morning.
Morning.
Just want you to notice when my lord commands, I obey. Hi.
Hi, Lib. What's this signature supposed to mean? The voice of John Donne.
In the death of each man, the entire world is diminished. No man is an island unto himself. Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for me.
When he says for whom the bell tolls, he means the funeral bell's ringing. Is that it?
You see, John Donne is the poet who wrote the poem.
Is that what it says? Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for me?
Yeah.
Well, the line is, it tolls for thee.
I know that, baby, but that's the way it's written.
I guess maybe this guy feels it personal.
Come on, let's go.
this sign, Charlie.
Freddie, it's half done.
Can't say yet whether those wounds were produced by the weapon that killed the man on Washington Avenue. It's either the same weapon or one very similar. Then there's also the possibility that more than one weapon was used in both of these killings.
More than one?
I can't tell. I assume only one. Now, this man was stabbed 4 times, just like the other one. Either one of 2 of the wounds could have been fatal, although not immediately. One in the fleshy part of the upper arm, the other one on the outside of the left thigh. Either fury or bad aim, I can't say which. Well, I might be able to tell you more after the autopsy.
That's it, huh?
That's it so far.
I don't know. You pick up anything?
Lieutenant, precinct wants to talk to you. Another homicide. Uptown this time.
Another derelict?
Let's go.
That does it. That's the end of it.
You know what we did today?
We know, Charlie. Don't make it any harder.
4 now, Baldwin. 4.
They've got to notice us now.
Think they saw us in the backyard?
They saw us.
They saw us all right.
I figure we've got about 48 hours now.
And then? Nothing.
And then everything. Everything.
Anybody want coffee beside me?
Thanks, Frank.
Complaints, complaints, complaints. Man plays the piano too loud. Woman complains her husband's abusive and threatens her constantly. Boy complains his bicycle was stolen. Father wants to know what action the police are taking. Says he'll write a letter to the newspapers exposing this. What was that put in the report for?
I don't know.
4 Nazis in black shirts with swastika armbands hung a Nazi flag on a backyard fence and made the Nazi salute.
To who?
To who what?
To who did they make the Nazi salute?
Who knows? They just made it.
Thanks, Mike. No, Mike. There was a Nazi swastika at the scene of the murder of the first derelict.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I remember. I took it down and I threw it away. I gave it to that guy that put in the fire alarm, the street cleaner.
There was one on the doorway of 68th Street in West End where we found the last guy this afternoon.
There was?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's no good, though. We didn't find any of the other scenes of the other 2 murders.
Well, they could have been there. We might have missed them.
That's right.
Ah, we got nothing. We're just jumping at straws.
Six a.m. 6:45 a.m. 4 p.m. 4:45 p.m.
Give me the Weather Bureau, will you?
2 killings in the morning, 2 in the afternoon.
1 murder. 4 days later, 3 murders on the same day.
Hello, Weather Bureau. This is Lieutenant Parker of the 65th Precinct. I want to ask you a couple of questions about the phases of the moon. Yes, last Monday night. Uh-huh. Oh, no moon at all. That means tonight it's the first quarter. Thank you. There never was a series of killings without a pattern. And believe me, there's a pattern in this thing.
All right, let's find it. An unknown killer knocks off 4 derelicts.
Why not say unknown killers, plural? Didn't the doc say they used 4 different knives? 4 stab wounds?
4 killers.
4 killers. That may explain the 4 angles of entry. 4 murders, 4 stab wounds, 4 killers.
Like a wolf pack.
Wait a minute, Mike. What was that report you just read about the Nazis in the backyard? Would you read back again verbatim?
Complaint received at 5:15 p.m. this date that 4 unidentified persons described as dressed in Nazi uniforms.
See, 4. That's what caught my attention.
Nailed a Nazi flag to a fence in the backyard of 1090 West End Avenue.
That's right, in the neighborhood of 68th Street.
That's right.
And gave the Nazi salute. Description furnished as follows. All 4 youths in their early 20s, dressed in black shirts with brass buttons and red swastika armbands on the left sleeve of each shirt.
Mike, 4 youths in the early 20s. They could be in college, right? Well, look. 2 murders in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, but none at night. And I noticed this, the 2 in the morning are within 1 hour apart. Then they'll let 10 hours pass before they commit another one.
Because in the time in between, they had to be someplace like school.
Right, like in school.
There could be a lot of other explanations for the missing time.
Maybe we did overlook those other 2 stickers.
That's right.
Maybe we didn't. So what? It's an idea. Fellas, I want to play, and this is the only game in town. dead end, I guess, when it sounded so good at the office.
Well, maybe somebody saw the sticker and got mad at it like Adam did, and down on Washington Avenue threw it away. He was found right here.
Come on, let's wrap it up.
Wait a minute, Mike. You remember the doctor said either one of two wounds could have been fatal?
Mm-hmm.
But not immediately?
No go on this print. The darn thing's just the wrong size. If it was a little smaller, you'd put it on the end of your thumb, press down, you get a nice print that way. Now, in order to make this thing stick, you have to use both your thumbs or both your index fingers, press down, slide them apart. See?
Just a great big smudge, huh?
Of course, I think this is one case where you might be able to trace down the origin of this sticker. There'd be relatively few firms that'd be able to make it up special, and I don't imagine that the swastika'd be on their bestseller list. I don't think that'd be a part of their regular line.
Well, get us a list.
This bugs me. Really bugs me. Look, when you commit a crime, what's the one thing you want? You want to get by with it, right?
Sure.
Well, these killers, they not only leave signs for us, but just in the event we miss one or two clues along the way, they go in somebody's backyard and make Nazi salutes, so that everybody and his brother has to call us and tell us about it. These guys want to be found out. And they want to make sure we find them.
Adam, look, maybe they're playing some kind of a game. It looks like they're handing us a lot of clues, and then they turn out to be nothing. Suppose that we find the company that makes this sticker tomorrow morning, and they can't tell us anything about who bought it.
Maybe,
What are you so steamed about?
Hi, Libby.
Because it doesn't make any sense, Mike. It doesn't add up.
You mean it isn't logical?
That's right. It isn't logical. And I'll tell you why it isn't logical. It isn't logical because this thing is organized and highly organized.
Phone call.
Organization means intelligence. Intelligence means logic, and logic means ABC, 1, 2, 3. There must be a
Phone
pattern
call.
there.
Well, everybody has a different logic. Everybody thinks in different ways.
Boy, this is so different. It's from Mars somewhere.
Phone call.
For who?
Not for thee, for he.
For me? Who is it?
Libby.
Hi, then.
Adam, are you there? Well, speak to me, for goodness sakes. Adam, are you with me?
Hold it a minute, baby. I have a thought.
Frank. Yeah, what?
You remember that letter in the newspaper? Ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for me.
That's what I was making the pun about. Not for thee, for he.
Right, for me. And do you remember what you said about it?
Yeah, I said some guy feels kind of personal about it.
That's right, because maybe somehow this guy was involved. See, maybe this guy saw it happen, but he didn't report it, so he feels guilty. So he sends in the letters needling us to catching these guys. Because if we catch them, we relieve his conscience.
What?
A letter to a newspaper editor, Mike.
He didn't sign his name.
That's right. But it has to be on record at the newspaper office because they don't print these things unless you leave your real name and address, in addition to the pen name. Right?
Right!
Libby, honey, listen,
Adam, listen, darling, I just called to say goodnight. That's all. I'm exhausted and I want to go home to sleep. So, please say goodnight.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Baldwin? Baldwin!
Come in. Police? As you can see, I've been waiting for you.
Roger! Roger!
What is this? District Attorney just got here.
Tell Adam.
Yes, sir. Mike wants to see you in his office. The district attorney's on his way up.
Frank, I've been watching these people, these parents. They're all nice people. They're as bewildered as we are.
Baldwin, can't you understand how serious this is? Don't you understand you've got to let me help you? I don't want to alarm you, but it's just possible these boys may be facing the electric chair.
That's right.
Baldwin, talk to us.
Father, I'll wait and talk to the police. Don't you all understand? We had a reason. Don't you think we knew what we were doing from the beginning?
Gentlemen. It's Mr. Angelo from the district attorney's office.
I want to talk to someone.
This is a very unusual situation. I would like to suggest, if it's agreeable with you, that each of you be present when your client's being questioned. Unless there's a very good reason, then we'll start the questioning right now. The lawn boy is the leader. Is that the way you see it?
Yes.
All right, let's separate them. We'll take the three boys first and leave the lawn boy where he is for the time being.
Max, get all but Baldwin.
Okay. We'll start the questioning there.
Okay, boys.
Charlie.
Not you, boys.
Now, this young lady here is a police stenographer. She will make a public record of everything that is said here in my office. It can and will be used as testimony in court. Do you understand that? Now, do you understand that we believe that you three and Mr. Baldwin Warren have committed 4 murders? That is what this questioning is all about. And if you are brought into court and found guilty, the penalty for these crimes is death.
Yes.
Will you please have the record show that the affirmative response relates merely to an understanding of the charge, not to any admission of guilt or complicity?
Make a notation, miss.
We killed them.
Do you realize what you're saying? You're hanging yourself.
Please, I don't want you to interfere.
Now give yourself a chance to think. Listen.
We killed them so that we could be caught and brought to justice. So that when we give our lives, we do it in a way that will call attention to the kind of world that people live in.
What? Do you realize that in the world that people live in, you killed 4 men in cold blood, that you've committed murder?
We realize everything and we admit everything.
Mr. Angelo.
Make a note, miss. The district attorney's office recognizes what a broad term everything is. When it is used as it was just used, it loses its meaning. I want to tell you, I just don't really understand what you're trying to tell me. I want you to explain to me what your motives were. What were you trying to accomplish?
We tried to make the world know what it is.
What do you mean?
You read the newspapers, don't you?
I do. What does that have to do with killing 4 men?
I think we wouldn't know how to explain. I think you better talk to Baldwin. Baldwin can tell you.
Yeah, you better ask Baldwin.
All right. Bring him in.
Adam, bring in Mr. Lyon.
You'll see.
Okay, Baldwin.
Baldwin.
Max, get these people some coffee, please.
Right.
Sir?
Everything said in my office tonight will be public record and can be used as testimony in court. Go ahead.
You don't know how badly I want to get this over with.
You know you're accused of killing 4 people. You know that the penalty for murder is death.
That's all I want.
Baldwin.
Yes, sir.
Will you tell us what this is all about? In your own way, in your own words.
whole world is rotten. You pick up a newspaper. What do you read about? Nothing but death. But there's no dignity to the way people die. No dignity at all. Now take, for example, those fellows that volunteered for the yellow fever experiments. They died, but they died for something useful. And you take what's happening. A whole world armed with bombs, ready to throw them at each other. I studied physics. This is a moment in history where the human race is on the threshold of the greatest, most wonderful era. Nobody has to starve again, or to be cold, or to be hungry, or to go without a home, or not have everything he needs. That's what atomic energy is. You can take the salt out of the sea, you can make seawater fresh, you can irrigate the deserts, you can cure the sick, you can change the whole face of the earth just to suit the needs of man. There's no reason for nations to fight anymore. That's because there's enough for everybody. That's what I wanted to say to the world.
You killed 4 people to say that?
To say it in a way to make people listen to me. I made up my mind that I would make myself the principle of brutality which is holding back the human race. I made up my mind that I would take on myself the sins of the whole human race.
By killing, Baldwin?
I said I will commit an act so bad that seeing it, everyone will be ashamed. I would make the world understand that even the least, seemingly most unimportant life must be valued.
How can you value life by killing people?
Oh, but I give my own life, the most valuable thing I have, to make the world understand how sacred life is.
Your life, Baldwin. How about the lives of the 4 men you killed?
Nobody cared about them.
How about the lives of the other 3 boys you involved?
But they understand. We worked this thing out. We put on the most hated symbol we could think of, the black Nazi shirt. That's a symbol of death that everybody understands. We planned this for months. We planted every clue. I bought Mein Kampf, 4 copies. I wrote to all the newspapers. I ordered swastika stickers. I acted in a way that would attract attention. I even left my name and address. I brought you to me. I left a long trail, and I brought you to me.
Baldwin, did it ever occur to you that all you had to do was turn yourself in?
Oh, no. That would have been interpreted as a plea for mercy, an act of repentance. Oh, I do this again. I believe the world is worth it. I think that man is a noble creature, and that if you hold up to him a symbol, a mirror of his own brutality, he will be ashamed. And I am that mirror. Me, Josh, Charlie, Freddie, we're all that mirror. And we offer our lives freely to save this world.
What made you think it was your obligation to?
Can you show me anyone else who would take it on?
Lieutenant, you better call Bellevue and have him committed for observation.
I'm not insane. I'm not insane. Now, wait no, please believe that now. I'm not insane.
You killed 4 people, Baldwin. You think you're the only person in this world that can save it. You think that's sanity?
But the world is insane. I'm sane now. I'm sane now. I'm sane now. Just a minute. Wait. No, I'm sane now. Wait a minute. I'm not insane. Let's go. Please, I'm not insane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm not insane now. I'm not insane. Wait, let go. Wait, hold it. I'm not insane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm sane. I'm sane. The world is sane. I'm sane. Sane.
There are 8 million stories in the naked city. This has been one of them.
Screen Gems film presentation from Columbia Pictures, produced by Herbert B. Leonard.